गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hari Hari Hari, Bhavmai, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, गौर भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुषुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले रूपकदामायं ददाति स्वपदान्ति। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण राम 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 हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. So, today you all went to Rawal and what other place? Bath Road Bihari. The past time which I was put, this past time happened on the day of Diwali. So one day, Krishna, along with the cowherd boys, they were with their cows and they were deep into the forest. And Kamsa, he had actually sent one demon. The demon had taken a form of a snake. What was the demon? Aghasur. So in the Krishna book, Prabhupada describes how Aghasur was. He said it was a very big, gigantic snake. And he was in a very still position. And he wanted to kill Krishna. So he far away deep in the jungle, and he had opened his mouth and tongue out. Big mouth. It is said the upper jaws were touching the sky. The upper jaws were touching the sky. And his tongue was wide out few kilometers. Like, in marriages there is sometimes the carpet, Marriage entries, there are red carpet, you seen? Far long. And his teeth were looking like big, big mountains, and the gaps in between like caves. And he was breathing, and through his breathing, there was a smell around the whole forest. So the cowherd boys, that day, actually Balram did not go. Why? Anyone knows why Balram did not go? It was the day of Balram Purnima. So Mother Rohini actually wanted to give special dressing and shingar to Balram. So she did not send him. Only Krishna went with the cowherd boys. So Sudhama, Subhala, Arjun Sakha, all the Madhubangal, all other friends, they all saw this attractive, cave. So they were discussing, Arey, what is this? Suddenly in the middle of the forest, how come this cave has manifested? Some even guessed, no, it doesn't look like a cave. It looks like a serpent. Say, no. How can serpent suddenly come and open his mouth and sit here? The other day there was an argument amongst the boys. And there's a serpent. Serpent? What will the serpent do? Said he cannot do anything to us. Even if we walk and go into his mouth, Krishna is with us. And few days before, Krishna has actually killed Bakasur. He said, don't you remember? Bakasur also tried to eat Krishna. And then what did Krishna do? He broke his beak and came out. So similarly, if it is a serpent, there is no chance to do anything. Why? Krishna is with us. Krishna is with us. So in this way, the cowherd boys, they had a quarrel among themselves. An argument, debate kind of a thing. And while doing so, they actually started towards the mouth of Aghasur. By then Krishna was a little far away. And they were fearless, and at the same time they were innocent. They were innocent because they were not sure if this was really a serpent. And they were fearless in case it's a serpent. Krishna is there with us. Krishna will protect us. So these are the two things which Krishna expects from his devotees. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj mentions in his lecture that a devotee should be simple and innocent like a child. In that mood, one can actually chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then Maharaj tells the next point. But who is simple like a child and innocent like a child? Nobody. That is why it is so difficult to take Harinam. As simple as a child. You see, so many children are here now. They are so innocent. They don't know anything. They just know mother, father, and because they are innocent, they are very pure. And because they are pure, they are very attractive. Isn't it true? Correct or not? You see, so many children are here. They are so attractive because they are innocent and they are very pure. That is why, if a devotee is innocent and pure, he becomes very attractive. Krishna loves that simplicity. So, these cowherd boys, they had these two things. They were very innocent, and also they had complete faith that Krishna will protect them. Krishna will take care of them. This was their complete faith. So with this faith, they actually ran and went into the mouth of Aghasur. By then, Krishna also saw, and he was shouting at that way, and he realized, he actually saw the eyes of the serpent Aghasur. And he realized that this is not a cave or a mountain or any part of the forest of Vrindavan. It is a demon Aghasur. So Krishna was shouting, wait, 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 don't go, don't go. By that time smiling, waving hands at Krishna, the cowherd boys and the calves, they just jumps inside the mouth of Aghasur. So then, Aghasur did not close the mouth yet because he wanted who? He wanted Krishna also to come inside. So then, Krishna, to protect his friends, he also went running and jumped inside the mouth of Aghasur. And then Aghasur immediately closed his mouth. And he became very satisfied. He said that now I will get a lot of reward from my master, Kamsa. My work is done. But by then, Krishna starts expanding himself within the mouth of Aghasur. He becomes bigger, 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 bigger. And Aghasur starts getting the heat of Krishna's body and also the stretch because of Krishna's increasing the size. And Aghasur starts crawling, turning around with so much inconvenience. He wanted to spill Krishna out, but Krishna already has, stretched and stuck between his throat. And he was jumping up and down to throw Krishna out, but Krishna was already stuck and increasing. Dham! Karke. He broke the upper portion of his, above the throat, and came out. And with that breaking, even Aghasur's life fire went out and he died. He died. So, when Aghasur had come, even all the demigods from behind the sky, they were looking at this. Many places in Krishna book you will see, as soon as a demon would come, sent by Kamsa, the demigod also would come to know, and they would be seeing. And it is said that they would be hiding from the sky, because they were very fearful. In case the demon sees that the demigods were relishing, our fight. So what will happen to them? They will be fearful. So with hiding, they would see all these things. So when the Aghasur pastime happened, the demigods, they were looking at, and then they showered flowers after Aghasur was killed. They showered flowers on Krishna and all the cowherd boys and the calves. And after that, they went back. But meanwhile, they were actually amongst themselves discussing, oh, look at Krishna, what a wonderful act again he has done. Now, there is some hopes that very soon, Kamsa will be killed by Krishna and Balram. and we will have peace in our lives. So like this they were discussing and going back. It is mentioned, came a little late. He heard about it, but by the time coming on the site where this pastime took place, he was a little late. And he started hearing from all other demigods that Aghasur is dead, Krishna is killed. And by that time Krishna and his cowherd boys, they had done with it, and it was noon by then. And all of them went on their trees and removed their tiffins, and they sat together keeping Krishna in the center. And they were all offering whatever their mothers have offered to them, tiffin box. And all the mothers, whatever they would cook, they will make sure that some portion for Krishna is also given. They all loved Krishna so much. And one of the cowherd boys had, rasmalai. And Krishna likes it. But Madhumangal snatched the pot of rasmalai and ate it full. And he was standing in front of Krishna like this, having rasmalai in his mouth, and teasing Krishna. So Krishna went running behind him, Madhumangal, and Krishna hit his mouth like this. And rasmalai flew up and Krishna took it in his mouth. And that's when Brahma came. That's when Brahma came. And it was a shock of Brahma's life. We know in our temple when we want to do offering, all of you boys who are trained to do offering, you know how you are trained, Wash your hands, wash your legs, put the bell ring, bhoga, offer tulsi, close the culture, ring the bell, play the mantras. After praying the mantras, pay obeisances, get out of the room, come after 10 minutes, clap, ring the bell, pay obeisances, then open the curtain. And that's how you offer prasadam to, bhoga to Krishna. So this is the vidhi, this is the process. And even the demigods know, even Brahma knows. And Brahma's shock of life was, what is this? This is such a detailed process to offer bhoga to Krishna. And how come he be the Supreme Lord? He likes something and he's taking from someone's mouth? He said, how can he be? And then he also saw Aghasur's dead body. Aghasur's dead body. So then, when he saw Krishna snatching, fighting with his friends, and when his friends are pulling out his tiffin, Krishna also very attached. So he said, Arey, my God, how can this be Supreme Personality of Godhead? So then what he did, he actually wanted to see who Krishna is. So while Krishna was taking prasadam with his cowherd boys, and the calves were roaming around. So the cowherd boys told Krishna, somehow or other, today we are not able to see our calves. They are gone deep into the jungle. I hope they are in a safe place. So Krishna said, please don't worry. I will take care of that. You all peacefully take prasad. Take your tiffins. And then Krishna goes to search the calves. When he goes deep inside the forest, he sees nowhere the calves are visible. By the time to share this anxiety with the boys, with his friends, he comes back and he sees even the cowherd boys are not there. And then Krishna realizes, oh, it is Brahma. So Brahma, even with 3 heads, you are not able to understand my position. All right. So then first, of course, Krishna is in great anxiety when the Krishna book explains that when Krishna sees the cowherd boys and also the calves are missing, so with great anxiety he starts contemplating, oh, how I am responsible to take the calves back to their mothers and also my friends, cowherd boys, back to their parents. What will they feel if I go without them, Krishna thinks like this. They trust me so much. They love me so much. What will they feel? Thinking like this, then Krishna understands it's Brahma. So then Krishna expands himself. He expands into as many cowherd boys were there and as many calves were there. Not only that, it is said that all the paraphernalia also cowherd boys. Their clothes, their stick, their horns, everything was as it is expanded. Who was expanded? Himself, Krishna. Krishna expanded himself as every paraphernalia of the cowherd boys and the calves. And in this way, he actually went back to Vrindavan. He went back from the forest. So when he went back, it is mentioned that was a very, very divine situation in Vrindavan, in Gokul actually. He said that the cows were so... When Krishna arrived only, the love of the cows were 1,000 times more than the regular love what they had for their calves. Even the elderly gopis whose boys were coming back, even they were feeling so much love for their boys. It is said that all the gopis of Vrindavan would love Krishna more than their own children. And they were all thinking in their hearts, why am I feeling like I'm having Krishna coming to my house when I see my son coming today? In this way, the whole environment of Vrindavan was surcharged. Tomorrow you're going to Govardhan. In this way, there was a whole divine environment all over Vrindavan. All over Vrindavan. All the cowherd boys, the fathers were loving their children so much. Even the mothers. This was a divine environment. Because everywhere, who was there? Krishna. All the cows giving their milk directly to, one day, it is said, tomorrow you will go to Govardhan. So at Govardhan, the cowherd boys had taken the calves. And the other side of the Govardhan were the cows with the cowherd men. Somehow there the cows were. And all the cows, they just left all the barricades and mountains, and from the mountain steps they just came running down. Jesus came running down. And they started actually feeding their milk to the calves. Now, I heard from Srila Gaurakrishna Maharaj's lecture that these calves, they were grown-up calves. They were not milk-drinking calves. The milk-drinking cows were in Gokul. They were protected and small. They were not yet to come out. But they were little grown-up calves. They were not milk-drinking. But they just started drinking the milks. I mean the mothers, with great affection, they started feeding that milk. And the cowherd men, generally in such a situation, they would actually chastise the cowherd boys, gwalas, small boys. Why did you bring the calves closer by? You don't know what we are doing. We are hurting the cows. You're supposed to keep them away. How could you not make sense? They were supposed to chastise and show the stick. But these cowherd boy men, they actually were embracing their children and kissing them. There was no complaint. Now Balramji was surprised. It was almost 1 year. Balramji was very surprised. What is this going on? What is this divine environment in whole Braj? generally there would be riots and fights for the cowherd boys and the cows being mixed when they're on the herding. I mean, there would be fight in the sense, there would be a lot of chastisement and correction. But then he asked Krishna, he said, Krishna, what is this? I'm seeing something tricky going on. Krishna said, I don't know. So Prabhupada writes here that sometimes even Lord Balram is not aware of Krishna's some very intimate desires. So Balramji, of course, when he understood this, he saw this, he figured out. And in the pastime it goes, of course this pastime begins also when Sukadev Goswami mentions that after 1 year, the cowherd boys in their house told about Agasur being killed. Then Parikshit Maharaj said, wait. Why did the boys told after 1 year? Then Sukadev Goswami tells the whole detail of this pastime. By this time, it is said on the earth, it was just it was 1 year. But for Brahma's calculation, it was just a moment. He hid the boys, came back, after a while saw, and he was surprised. He saw in Brajbhumi, all the cowherd boys and the cows were there. And he went back and saw in the cave where he had hidden the cows and boys. They are there also. And they are here also. And his head started, all the 4 heads of Brahma started reeling. He said, what is this? What is? Then he realized, oh my God, I have done a great offense to my Supreme Lord. And then after a while, Krishna showed him that all the cowherd boys and the calves were he himself. In a 400 form. He showed everyone, and Brahma saw this. Immediately Brahma came, paid obeisances to Krishna and asked forgiveness and cried. How Dinabandhu Prabhu explains it very nicely when he used to come. He used to say, Brahma came down and he said he took his 4 heads and paid obeisances. And crying to Lord Krishna. He said, and then, he asked forgiveness. But here there is a very nice teaching here, In our spiritual life, it is very important for one to have a very sincere spiritual desire. A very spiritual, sincere desire with deep contemplation and prayers is actually fulfilled by the Lord. Is fulfilled by the Lord. Lord seeks opportunities. When Brahma stole the calves and the cowherd boys, Krishna contemplated that, oh, what will the mothers and the cows think? But at the same time, Krishna thought, one of our Acharya explains that Krishna thought that this elderly gopis and mothers of Vrindavan, they love me so much. Even though I harass them so much, even if they are so frustrated and they want to come and complain about Mother Yashoda, sometimes they avoid it, sometimes they come and complain to Mother Yashoda, but they don't want me to be punished. So much they love me. And even the cowherd, even the cows, all of them, even though they have beautiful calves, but they always desire how their milk will be used to make some lassi, curd, sweet rice, rabri, and it somehow that reaches me. So let me take opportunity of Brahma's pride and mistake and fulfill the desires of all these elderly gopis, the mothers of the cowherd boys, and also the cows. It is a very, very deep lesson. See, anyone to progress in spiritual life, it is very, very important that we are busy to pray to progress in spiritual life. If we, for a moment, if we are not having that attitude, that mood, that prayerful heart to, to, to receive some service from Krishna, to receive some mercy from Krishna so that you can progress, you should always be busy seeing what is an obstacle in your spiritual life so that you can pray to Krishna to come out of it. If you miss this, then what happens is, then you end up thinking how great devotee you are. You end up thinking how great devotee you are. And if anything goes wrong, then you think that how these devotees are treating you. You know? Because you are somebody and that somebody is being mistreated. And that's another dangerous zone of sliding down in your spiritual life. Spiritual life means we should always be thinking that how I can progress more and how I can serve more. The mood of service selflessly means actually expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude. So we should always be in a mood of expressing our gratitude. Srila Prabhupada has given us so many teachings, If anything goes wrong with us, if anything goes wrong with us in association of devotees, even if you are not in association of devotees actually, we should do our duties. That doesn't mean someone picks your pocket and you think, mere karma mein ja raha leke jaane de, aisa nahi. Not like that. But there are situations where you should know how to apply the principles of Krishna consciousness. If anyone ill treats you, one should always think that I am supposed to be treated worse than this, because of my sinful activities in this life and previous life. I am just getting not even 1% of it. Why? Because I am in association of devotees. This is how a devotee should be thinking. Lot of devotees, see, initially Krishna consciousness is very inspiring. Eventually you have to work hard to progress. But if you miss to work hard to progress, and what is working hard? Working hard means you are very strongly aligned with your superiors. Very strongly aligned with your superiors. I was telling the other day, when Mataji asked the question, Sarva Dharman Paritejaya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Mam Ekam Sharanam means shelter. Krishna is saying, take my shelter. But shelter is possible only if you want to surrender. Correct? And Krishna is not going to directly come. Krishna will only come through his devotees, through his instructions, through the acharyas. And we have to deal with the devotees, we have to deal with the acharyas. That's why we all should try our best to be disciplined. Be disciplined. If that is not there, immediately the material world is such a powerful place. Maya is so strong here. There is one saying, no? Nazare hati, durgatna ghati. Isn't it true? Nazare hati, durgatna ghati. The moment we actually are careless, immediately we will fall prey to Maya. Immediately. That is why two things one should always try. Always have a very great vision to serve Krishna, his mission, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, the Sankirtan mission. Have a vision to serve. And second, Srila Prabhupada writes many times that don't expect anything good in this material world. That is the biggest mistake one does. That one expects good in the material. This is not a place where gentleman lives. It is a place where sinful people take birth. It's not a place where gentleman lives. But by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have this Sankirtan mission. By mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have this Iswan movement, wherein we have got this opportunity to read scriptures, come together, have association of devotees, take prasadam, follow Krishna consciousness. That great opportunity we have. So if we have to take advantage of that, if we don't take advantage of that, we will only act in an ungrateful way, in an egoistic way. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj says that in the material world, in Kali Yuga, people measure themselves with their egos. The measuring barometer is the bigger the ego is. That's how every nation is, One nation will say, I am big. The other nation will say, we are superpower, not he. Isn't it true? Then the other nation will say, we two combined together the superpower. And you just come down. It is there within the country also, within the states. Then you come down. You will say it is within the communities also. Then you come down. You will see it is within the house also. Correct or not? And then you come down. It is within the nuclear family also, between husband and wife. And then you go anywhere between the friends. It's all people living with their egos. I am great. No, I am. I am greater. I am greater. This is how the world is going on. This is how this whole world is going on today. And devotees have to act in different way. Srila Prabhupada said, we have to win the world with this Sankirtan movement. How is that possible? If only devotees act in a humble way and make this movement a better place for a world to have an alternative to live happily. People outside Krishna consciousness in the material world are trying their best to be happy, but they are not happy. They are not happy at all. Everywhere there is so much of struggle, so much challenges, so much relationship problems, so much of financial problems. Money is there is a problem. Money invested, is it safe or not, is another problem. So what is lacking is Krishna conscious environment, Krishna consciousness education.